Hello, this is Suzanne with Sweet Tea and Whimsy. Tonight I'm going to show you the results of the book project that I started and shared with you last night. The project was to take a relatively new book and turn it into an old book. And as I mentioned last night, I've done some junk journaling in the past, so I have coffee stained and tea stained individual pages and scrapbook pages and doilies and all sorts of paper, but I have never taken an entire book and tea stained it or coffee stained it. So the project that I started last night, I really wasn't sure if it was going to work. And after I shared the video with you and I removed the books from the coffee, I really thought there was no hope that the books would ever, hey Daisy, would ever dry out because they were soaked. You could not even separate any of the pages. The books were just completely drenched. I actually squeezed the books again and again to try to get out the majority of the coffee. And of course, today happened to be somewhat of an overcast day. We did have some sunshine, but I was able to put the books out in the sunshine today. I think if it had been hotter and sunnier, the books would have dried better. And of course, last night I could not wait. So when I was able to squeeze most of the coffee out of the books and get them situated on a tray, I went ahead and popped them in the oven. That's what I do when I am tea staining individual pieces of paper. Is I'll turn the oven on very low and I will heat them up. So I attempted to do that for a while last night, just because I knew that it was going to be a little overcast and not as sunny and hot as I had hoped that it would be, and just because at that point I wasn't even sure if the project was going to work. I really thought that it was just a disaster. So when I was able to dry the books a little bit last night, they were still pretty wet. I put them in the sunshine today, and when I came home, I heated up the oven again on a very low temperature, and I put them back in the oven for a while. So I want to go ahead and show you the books, and then I would like to share with you what we're going to do to finish them off and make it a really pretty finished project. So stay tuned, guys. We're getting started. So here is the smaller of the two books. If you'll remember, this is the large print book. It was a paperback book, and it really turned out beautifully. The pages are all crinkled up and they're ruffled, and they're they just enlarged and expanded. I think this is absolutely gorgeous. So this is what it looks like. This is now what used to be a relatively new book that's been turned into an old book. So I really think these pages are so cool. Okay, the second book that I turned old was the hardback cover book. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. It's old, it's crinkly, it definitely looks vintage. Here's the side view. So I think it is absolutely gorgeous. So the front page is actually falling apart from where it kind of stuck to the cookie sheet in the oven. So I could remove it and let this be my first page, or I could leave it. So I haven't really decided yet what I'm going to do. So the two books together are right here. It looks like two very, very, very old vintage books that were found in an abandoned house from the 1800s. I don't know, but they absolutely went from new to old. So now let's see what we can do with these. Okay, the second book that anybody want to talk about cooked books? It was just an old 25-cent book from the Christian Service Center. It was new and I made it old. It looks like it's forever old, doesn't it? Looks like it's been old forever.